Welcome to the Better Baby Mama podcast. I am your host, Zaza. Today, I want to talk about the nature of women being selfish. Now, I want you to remove your emotions from this if you're a woman. Don't take it as me being to pick me or bashing. I just want to have an open conversation and dialogue with y'all because I ain't got no friends. So, what better reason to put it on a podcast and then talk to strangers on the internet and get people's unbiased opinions? Because we all know each other. So, there's no judgment here. I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, I'm not saying this in a condescending way or in a negative way. I'm saying the nature of women is selfish in a very literal sense of the word. So I Googled the definition of the word selfish, and the definition according to Google says of a person, action, or motive lacking consideration for others. The other definition variation says concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. So I want to kind of do like a verbal Venn diagram of sorts and compare what ways I have been evaluating that proves that the nature of woman is selfish. And then we could also talk about the selfless parts of our nature as well. Our existence basically relies on finding somebody to protect and provide for us, which in and of itself is selfish because we might not even like that person or anything. But if we need them for survival, we will go ahead and use them because we need them to survive. We find all types of excuses to spend money on vanity, from plastic surgery to makeup to clothes, just all manner of things that are not really conducive to bettering our children's lives. We will justify any Amazon purchase. I used to clean houses for a living, and I used to clean really, really nice houses. And I also cleaned a few middle class houses. When I tell you every single house, everyone, 100 out of 100% of the time, there was a corner full of Amazon packages anytime I had a female client. I could tell which people was bachelors versus which people wasn't just by their house. Even though I never had to see the person at all, I could have just got booked online. Don't know anything beforehand. But as soon as I get in that house, if I look to the left and I see a corner full of unopened Amazon packages, I know there's a woman that lives in this house. All the bachelors whose houses I cleaned, their houses basically had like a bed, maybe 2, 3 towels, some water bottles, protein, maybe a little bar with some liquor and some little glasses. They had basics, like, maybe just hand soap and no hand towel. It was just basic man stuff. But us women, we will justify spending money, even when we're in debt. I'm talking to myself when I say this. Don't take it personal. I'm just, we're having a discussion. We're having an open, honest discussion. We will lead a relationship when we're not happy. That is kind of selfish when you think about it, because the person could be doing everything, paying bills, taking care of you and your kids and y'all kids together, going to work every day, being faithful, being loyal, dicking you down the way you want to be digged down. They be doing every single thing that they've been doing from day one to year 3. Because we are not experiencing the emotion we feel we should be experiencing during that time, we go ahead and cut the shit off. Bye. I'm not happy. You're not making me happy no more. So I'm gonna go ahead and divorce you, or I'm leaving you because I'm sorry. You just don't make me happy. Normalize women leaving whenever they're not happy. Normalize women prioritizing themselves. Normalize just leaving. You don't need a reason to leave. These are all things that I've seen on my TL, on IG, TikTok. Women will support other women most of the time if they decide to leave just because they're not happy, because our nature, we are also being selfish in a way because we're supporting them ruining another person's life for no reason, no justification. If it's a friend group and the girl decided to get divorced or the girl decided to leave her man, even if it's for no reason at all, I wasn't feeling happy anymore. Her girls will be there for her, hands down. That kind of further proves this theory of mine that the nature of woman is selfish. We can justify things when we're mad, like cheating or putting our hands on a man just because he pissed us off. Or if maybe he's not making us happy, but we don't really want to leave, so we could just cheat because, oh, well, he wasn't giving me the attention. And we will sit here and support each other doing that. If your homegirl tell you that's what she did, she cheated on a man because he wasn't giving her enough attention and time and showing her enough affection. Like a lot of homegirls will sit down and support each other because our mind is not thinking about how the man might be going through something, or the man might not know that he's not being as affectionate or anything he doing wrong because the woman didn't tell him. But as women, we get together, we group up and kind of perpetuate the selfishness in women narrative. We could justify something such as stealing. That's something I ain't gonna lie, I used to boost. I used to hit a Walmart back in my day. I don't be stealing no more because, I got morals and stuff now. I'm Muslim. I don't be doing that now. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I definitely used to hit them up, hit them up. I didn't have no justification. If I would have got caught, I wouldn't have been blaming it on my kids. But I do see a lot of body cams where most of the women that's stealing, they either stealing and they have kids with somebody that's not at the store with them, or they have kids right there at the store. But most of these people who are on body cams getting caught stealing is women with kids. And then you look in the comments and it's a lot of women saying, well, she's just doing what she had to do for her kids, or I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying I get it. She's a single mom. Like, as women, we can justify each other doing all manner of egregious things that are really not justifiable, instead of just saying, like, nah, she stole because she felt like it. We'll excuse that. That's, in a way, condoning a person stealing just because they're a woman. Selling coochie. You're not supposed to be selling twat at all. That's not something that one should be doing, especially when you had kids. But what do we as women do? You look at people like Sexy Red, Cardi B, and all these hoes in the industry right now. Ice Spice. You look at them, shake their ass all day, show coochie, Meg the Stallion, like just do all types of things that are not becoming of a young woman. And what's the hell support now? We have no issue supporting them at all. And we'll say, well, they doing what they have to do. At least she getting paid. Y'all hoes in the club for free. At least they getting paid. They getting to the bag. Like, we have found a way to justify being a prostitute. It's supposed to be a special experience for somebody to have access to your body. But we just sit here and say, well, hey, if she needed to rent that monkey out, then, well, damn it, her body, her choice. Feminism as a whole is proof that the nature of women is selfish. The fact that most women my age in their 20s is fucking feminist will justify being in school, working two jobs, and trying to run a small business, even though we have kids. We'll justify taking time away from our kids so that we can earn something as vacuous as money, something so vain, something that's quite meaningless because money only has the value and currency that you put on it. We don't say, okay, I'll just work one job and, I try to save money and make a wise investment, get my kids out the hood, whatever. No. Now we want it all. We don't even think about the time we're taking away from our kids, which in and of itself is selfish. Regardless of whatever way you want to spend it. Your kids don't get to see you as a mom. They at school 6-7 hours a day, and then they with Big Mama. Then they at the Boys and Girls Club. Then they with your sister and them. Then they with your homegirl, that so-called godmama. Your kids only see you a couple times a week. And a couple times they see you, you tired and mad and tell them get out your face and get out your room. That in and of itself is very, very selfish. I've seen a lot of women online now who going through homelessness and they stand at the shelter with their kids when they know they got a mama or somebody that'll sit up and take their kids while they go figure whatever out. Sometimes they even had a dad is ready and willing to take them children, but they don't give them to them. They just want to take the kids to the shelter because they feel like that'll get them boosted on the Section 8 waiting list. Let's just call the thing a thing. Women sleeping in cars with their kids have no business doing so. Don't care nothing about the baby safety. But you don't want to have to ask nobody for help. So, you put your pride over your child's safety and their betterment, which in and of itself is a form of selfishness that especially us single moms and us baby mamas, we have to correct that. When it comes to disciplining kids, a lot of us don't want to be viewed as the bad guy. We care so much about how our kids view us that we refuse to discipline them, knowing that in the end, it's really going to negatively impact them because they can't get away with that with other people. But because in our household, we don't want to be viewed as the disciplinarian or the bad guy, we put how we want to be viewed over what's the best interest of our kids, which is a form of selfishness. A lot of us single moms struggle with routine. I'm somebody who's late damn near everywhere. If it's not a bag involved, I'm probably not gonna be there at the time you told me to be there. I'll be there when I get there. I'm one of them type of people. Like people around me that can't stand that I'm late everywhere. So most of the time they don't even invite me nowhere, which works out for both of us because I ain't want to go no way. I like being in the house. I am a lump on a log. I'm a couch potato. I am a lazy Susan. I don't like leaving my house. I am like the dude from Kim Possible that stayed in the basement for years with agoraphobia. So when I be taking my kids to school, sometimes we be late. It's inexcusable. No reason we be late. I noticed one day I was like, dang, ain't none of the dads still bringing their kids late. It's only us moms. I was like, yeah, they probably going through the same thing as me. Lack of structure, lack of routine, lack of discipline. Kids going to bed when they feel like it, hard to get them to sleep, then hard to get them up. And instead of waking them, wake up an hour earlier so we can get there on time, I just wind up being late. That is very selfish to not have a routine for your kids because the kids, they do need routine. That is how they thrive. Like they don't have a concept of time. All they know is if I do this same exact thing every single day, wake up, brush my teeth, get my clothes on, go to the school. If they do that every single day, like that becomes a habit for them. It's a lot easier. And I know this, so I know better. I can't even use the excuse like I ain't know better. When it comes to savings accounts and stuff, I see a lot of moms, especially single moms, doing all these day in the lives and shop with me and stuff, spending like several $100s at the Lululemon whenever we had kids. Like, how many of us is putting money aside for our kids and thinking about their future, not just them going and getting student loans and ending up in all this student loan debt, but actually them prospering in the future. I had one job. It was in East Tennessee back when I lived there back in 2017. And it was this man I had. It was a Caucasian man. I think he was under 30 years old. He might have been like 27, 28. He had just got married, had just had a brand new baby. He was telling us that he has his checks sent to two different places. He was like $35 every single week, so $70 a pay period. I have sent to my son's account. And we was like, your son, the baby was just born. Like, that's his social security card even came in the mail. Like, you got a little baby. What you mean, your son? So I'm deep like, wow, this man just had the baby. And he wasn't making a lot of money because I remember he was looking for another job. He was making probably like $2,000 a month. So let's do the math. So he was putting $35 a week into the baby's account. That's 52 weeks in a year. So 35 times 52, that's $1,820. Now, the types of accounts that you can have a CD account. So it might last for like say 18 months and then you might earn $300 on that and then you reinvest for the compound interest, whatever. But 1820, let's just take it at face value, not add no interest or anything. Just say 1820. That's every single year what he's putting aside for his child. And you time that by 18. By the time that baby's 18, that baby's gonna have $32,760. Just off $35. So if we was to sacrifice one DoorDash order, we could take care of our kids. So they'll be set. So when they're 18, if they want to put a down payment on the house and do 3.5% and then do FHA or something like that, that would be set for. But that he's a man. That's what he thinking. It's like, how can I financially provide for my child, even though I'm making limited money? I'm only making $2,000 a month. I got a wife who's a stay-at-home mom, so I gotta take care of me, my wife, and make sure our baby is okay. So what can I do? He brought his lunch every day to work. He drove an economical car that was paid off, so he didn't have to worry nothing about that. They owned a home. They lived a middle class life off of $24,000 a year, $2K a month. And he was able to do that because he didn't care nothing about no Amazon purchases and going to get his lashes done and nails done and Brazilian waxes and laser hair removal and getting his eyebrows laminated and getting his fake toenails and getting the BBL because he wasn't worried nothing about that. He was thinking about his child. He was thinking selflessly. I see women spending $500 a month for their kids to get their hair done for some braids, something that's not even gonna last. This is nothing forever. This is nothing tangible. This is a hairstyle so that you don't have to comb your little girl hair. And then more likely they add weave in too. So the cost of weave is expensive, especially when you're getting the human hair weaves. And they be getting their kids sew-ins and stuff. And $600-700 for a wig and $200-300 to install it. But do we have savings accounts for our kids with the amount of money that we spend on their hair and on their wigs? The amount of money that we're spending on our hair, wigs, weaves, and stuff. and all this vanity for us? Are we putting money aside to make sure, hey, if time get hard, I want to make sure that me and my kids don't end up on the streets so that we don't end up in a shelter? No, a lot of us are not thinking like that. We're thinking about getting an instant dopamine hit right now. There are ways in which I could say women are selfless, like just to add to the Venn diagram. Of course, we nurture kids, we bear kids, we risk our bodies, never having the same body that we had before kids just by giving birth. In that instant, we'll never have the same body ever. If you carry a baby full term, your body is not the same. It might still be nice, but your body is not the same. I will say that is a huge sacrifice. Stay at home moms, stay at home wives, they clean the house, stuff like that, cook, feed the kids, take care of the kids, stuff like that. Yes, of course. There are several examples of where we do selfless acts as well. And I'm not even here to say that we're more selfish than selfless, but I hear a lot of times people talk about how selfless women are and how we have to give so much up. But I never hear the opposite. So I just want to bring the opposite side to the conversation and get you guys thoughts. So this has been officially my first episode upload of the Bitter Better Baby Mama podcast. Remember, everybody is entitled to their opinion. They're like assholes. Everybody got one. This is not a monolith. Everybody's free to have their own thoughts and opinions. And I'm so excited to hear yours. Now, I will talk to you guys in episode 2. Until then, Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.